Hey everybody, it's Chad from Stick's Blog. I'm Stick. Today I want to do a video and talk about this. This is the new Trent Powerpak Xtreme NT120R is the model. This is actually a battery charger. This is not necessarily something that I would take backpacking with me. Saying that, I do want to say that the way I went about getting this is a few months ago, somebody from New Trent, which is the people that make this battery pack, one of the guys contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in checking one out. And I told him, you know, I'd be happy to. I told him, but the thing is for a couple of different reasons, I would never expect to carry anything like this on a backpacking trip with me. He told me that'd be fine. He told me, you know, if I just wanted to check it out and whatever, just give him some feedback, maybe do a video. So I said sure. So he sent it to me, and I've been using it for the last couple of months. I gotta say, overall, for what it is, it's super nice. I'm pretty impressed with it, pretty happy with it. But real quick, I want to say a couple of reasons. Like I said, I wouldn't take something like this with me backpacking. One reason is the only thing that I take with me that would actually need to be charged while I was backpacking is going to be my phone. And the fact of the matter is I just don't hardly use my phone nearly enough on a trip to warrant having to recharge it. For example, the recent Olympic National Park hike I did, I was out for 7 days. When I got back in, turned my phone on, I had something like 82% of my battery left on my phone. So I don't have a need for this while I'm out on the trail. Now I will say, if my camera or something like that was something that did have rechargeable batteries and I could recharge it, I may think again about it. However, that kind of goes into another reason why I wouldn't use this, and that's simply because of weight. This is their Powerpak Xtreme. You can see it says it there, Powerpak Xtreme battery. And basically what this is this is just an intentionally overbuilt battery pack. And they built it for those intentions to be waterproof, dirt-proof, and shock-proof. Supposedly you can drop this thing in water up to 3 foot deep and leave it there for an hour and it won't affect it. I know that you can drop it because I've, over the course of the last couple of months, I've been trying it out. I have dropped it on my hardwood floors. Once at the airport, I dropped it on the tiled floor at the airport. So there's been a couple of times I've dropped it and I haven't noticed anything, you know, wrong with it like that. And of course it's dirt proof or dust proof, and that's just because of the way it's enclosed, and I'll show you that when I open it up. But anyway, also this thing weighs 11 ounces. Now that's a lot of weight, especially for somebody like me that counts every little bit of weight that goes in my backpack down to the grams. And honestly, considering that I don't need it, that would be even too much for kind of a luxury item for me. Now I will say that if I was somebody that didn't pay so much attention to, you know, details of the weights that goes into my backpack, or if I carried a lot of electronic equipment and stuff like that that could be charged on the trail, something like this might be more ideal, simply because of how robust it is. So I'm not saying it doesn't have a place on the trail, I'm just saying for me it doesn't have a place on the trail. However, despite all that stuff, I do want to say that I think this is a cool item. I think there is a lot of uses for it. Like I mentioned, whenever I went to, when I flew out to Washington, I carried this with me. That way I wouldn't have to worry about while I was on the plane, or whenever I was sitting in the airport terminal waiting on my flight to leave. I wouldn't have to worry about getting one of those seats that had the little plug-ins next to it and all that stuff. I could always charge my stuff, my phone mainly, when I was with me. As well, I can take it to work, and if I'm at work long hours, longer than normal, I can just plug my phone up to it and it'll charge it while it's at work. Even here at home, I've played with it, just charging things up. I want to say that this is a 1200. Let me just kind of show you some of the box before I go into some of the specs. You can see this is the box that it comes in. It's got a real nice little open flap here. Really just kind of tells you some redundant information. It's got the symbols on the side there. It's got some information on the back. And it tells you that it is a dual USB port. So let's go ahead and open it up, and I'll show you what all is inside it and talk about it just a little bit more. This is how it comes packaged. You see there's nothing else in the box there. And what I have here is, this is just a little compass, because like I said, it is outdoor. It's built rugged, kind of with outdoor in mind. You know, my outdoor with it would actually be camping, car camping. But anyway, it comes with just a little carabiner clip with a little keychain that you could attach to it if you want to hang it from your backpack or hang it somewhere so that you wouldn't lose it. This is just a different kind of strap that you can attach to it. Of course, it comes with a short. It's about 1.5 to 2 feet, something like that. Probably 2 feet cord. It's got a micro USB adapter on one end, and it has just a standard USB adapter on the other end. Next, you have the actual battery pack itself, and as you can see here, it is a pretty nice battery pack. It's pretty solid, I gotta say. It definitely feels robust. Actually, I do like it. I'll show you a little bit more about that in a minute. And then the last thing is the instructions, the instruction manual that comes with it. Now I want to say that, showing you the wrong side, there you go. I do want to say that I'm not very technically inclined when it comes to things like this, battery packs and charging things and all that stuff. That's just not my forte. So whenever I got this thing, it was very new to me. I wasn't sure exactly a lot of, you know, how I was supposed to work it or what I was supposed to do. Of course, it's kind of easy to figure out, but it takes a little bit. But these are just some basic instructions. One of my suggestions to them was to include a little more instructions because this is all that it is. It kind of gives you some very, very, very shallow instructions. And for me, it didn't work for a little bit. When I first got it, like I said, it comes with the cord. I went ahead and I plugged the cord up like so, and then I plugged this end into just a random phone charger that I have, plugged it up into the wall, and when I did that, there was two little lights that came on, and if I remember correctly, they were blinking, two lights together. Now I know according to the instructions that there's supposed to be 4 lights, so I just assumed that those 2 lights were blinking that meant it was charging. I left it plugged up all night. It was plugged up for probably 10 to 12 hours. Woke up the next morning super excited, expecting to see a full charge, and nothing. It was still blinking those same 2 lights. And I thought something has got to be wrong with this. So I ended up taking the little box that actually plugs up into the wall. I took it out and I used the box that I plugged my Samsung Galaxy 3 up into. And I plugged this into that charger. And immediately the 2 lights came on, and then the 3rd light started blinking. And that's kind of what I got from reading online, not really from the instructions, but that's kind of what I got as far as meant that it was charging like it was supposed to. So right there, right off the bat, it was unclear of how I was supposed to work it, to get it to charge up. So that's one thing that I would suggest, is put a little more in-depth instruction booklet in with the charger. Now just go ahead and show you here. This is just basically all plastic body. It's not got any metal as far as I understand. It's just a tough plastic body around it. And like I said, it is waterproof, so it must have seals around it. And you can see this is the end, this is the business end here. You can see it's got 2 standard USB ports on either side, and then in the middle it's got the micro USB port. And that middle button, or that middle port, is what this small micro USB plugs into, and that's what actually charges the battery pack itself. Once you've got the battery pack charged up, you can take the same wire, depending on what kind of phone you have. This micro USB works with my Samsung Galaxy 3. And I can take the USB end and I can plug it into one of the USB ports, plug that end into my phone, and it'll start charging my phone. It's pretty simple. I mean, that's basically what it is, but there's a little bit more to it. I do want to point out real quick too, you can see it's got these little rubber indentions, or it's got these little raised rubber parts, so that whenever you close that, that'll actually fit into those ports, and that also helps keep the unit from getting damaged by water or dirt or anything like that. So it is an overall nice design. It's got a nice little clip to it that won't just flop open. It takes a little bit of effort. If you're like me and bite your fingernails, it may be a little more effort than you want to pull it apart there. But also you can see on the end there, if the camera's focusing, the 2 ports on it both will charge 5-volt devices. And the one on this side is going to be a 1 amp output, and this one's going to be a 2.1 amp output. So ideally, what they suggest is plugging your phone up into the 1 amp and then like a tablet or something like that into the 2.1 amp. I did ask around because, like I said, I'm not technically inclined with this stuff. I can plug my phone up into the 2.1, however, some information I got about it is it may charge it so fast that it kind of makes the phone overheat just a little more than it should, maybe. I've also heard that it'll do fine, it'll charge the phone, however, because of the super fast charge, it won't hold the charge quite as long as if it was a slower charge. So you might not get as much use out of it. Like I said, this is 1200 milliamps. Let's see here. Yeah, 1200 milliamp capacity is what this battery has. For me, I've been able to charge my phone anywhere between 4 and 6 times, just depending on how much battery I have whenever I go to charge it. My battery in my Samsung Galaxy S3 is a 2100 milliamp battery. So like I said, ideally, being that it's 2100, I should be able to get almost 6 full complete charges if my phone was completely dead. However, I do feel like there is a little bit of drain, a little parasitic drain or something going on with this. Because the first time I ever did it, I tried to kill my battery as much as I could. So there was a number of times I charged it up after the phone had already shut off. But like I said, I only got about 4 good charges out of it. So somewhere I was losing energy. I don't know where. But if I let it get down to about 25–30%, somewhere like that, plug it up, it's good to go. It'll charge it about 6 times. I do want to say one thing. Let's see, one thing. I know this is just random all over the place, but I'm trying to think of things as they come to me. One thing I found out about this is the way you can tell how much charge it's got. You can see there's a little power button over on this side here. I'm not super fond of the power button. It's kind of, I don't know, I think maybe it could have been rethought. I don't like the way it feels, the way it works. But anyway, you press that power button and you can see, you should be able to see there's 4 blue lights down at the bottom. Each one of those lights stands for 25% of the battery capacity that's in there. So according to this, right now I have 100% capacity. However, I could have actually 76% capacity. I do wish that there was some sort of a display or something that told you a more precise amount of capacity that you have in this. However, that's what you get. And maybe putting a little display screen there with some LEDs or something may have been not quite as durable as what they want it to go for. But anyway, that's one hang up I have with it. You don't really know how much is in there. Also, what I found is that when I'm charging my phones or my tablets, my wife's Kindle, it'll stay fully charged for a number of charges, and then all of a sudden it'll just drop like super fast. Kind of like my gas tank. It'll say I have almost a full tank of gas for the longest time, but once it starts dropping, once it gets to about 3/4 or a half tank, the rest of it really goes fast. So I don't think that's super reliable. I think you kind of have to keep in mind how much you got left, and how many times you've used it to charge and whatnot. Another thing that I found out is, like with my phone, if I charge it up to my wall charger at night, I wake up in the morning, once it reaches 100%, obviously the phone will keep charging to stay at that 100%. Now maybe that wears the battery out on my phone. Like I said, I'm not real sure. But what this does is once the phone reaches the 100%, this shuts off. So what I've come up with is, there was one night when it was kind of cold outside and I was sleeping outside. I charged my phone up, I plugged it up. Next morning when I woke up, my phone had obviously charged up to 100% and then it decharged down to 88%. That wouldn't do for me if I was heading off and expecting a full day of charge out of it. So that's one thing I don't know if I really like too much. I would like it better, I think, if it would stay on and keep that 100% charge going. But, you know, like I said, maybe there's things that they know that I don't know. Let's see, other than that, I do find out that once you plug it up into the wall and it reaches its charge, he did tell me to kind of unplug it as soon as I could. He said it didn't hurt it if it stayed plugged up for a couple of hours or something like that, but he said ideally once you get it fully charged, make sure you unplug it because that may weaken or decrease the battery life in it. But anyway, I think this is good for 500 cycles is what this is rated at. But anyway, that's just about it. Like I said, I do think this is a nice item. I would never carry this backpacking with me simply because it weighs 11 ounces. Honestly, if I was ever going to carry something like this backpacking with me, Trent does make another 1200 milliamp battery pack. However, it's not a robust one like this. I'm not sure what the weight on it is or the exact model, but something like that would be something I'd be a little more interested in other than this, because I'm not hard on my gear. I'm pretty generally good with it. However, something like this, I think this is great to have around home, you know, or just accidents can kind of happen. And taking on camping trips, like I said, I think that would be an excellent use for this right here. And then just like I said, just taking it around town, or not town, but on trips, you know, take it with you to recharge in your car, or just wherever you may happen to be that you don't have access to a good power source. But anyway, guys, that's the Trent Powerpak Xtreme 1200s. The NT120R is the model number, like I said. It is a super nice, it's very well built. No worries about design. Like I said, I'm not real, I don't know what it is. That power button, I don't really, it doesn't rub me the right way or something. But anyway, I mean, it works, it does what it does. I like it, I'm super glad to have it. I'm definitely going to be using this thing. I expect to wear it out eventually. And then I'll just take it from there. But anyway, guys, like I said, the Trent Powerpak Xtreme, I believe these go for 59 bucks on the Trent website. You can go to their website and check them out. Like I said, they have a number of other different chargers, different size chargers. I think this is one of the biggest ones that they have as far as capacity-wise. But they have different models, just a bunch of different stuff. You can check them out. But anyway, I want to say thanks to the guys at Trent for giving me the opportunity to check this thing out and use it. I've really enjoyed using it. I'm going to continue using it. But anyway, guys, that's the Powerpak Xtreme. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, questions, just post them below. Or probably better yet, direct those questions to the guys at Trent. They could probably answer them a lot better than I could. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time. Later.